Hi, I'm Lena Miculek, and this is my second year here at Woft and my very first year doing group scenarios. Before, I had only done the light, like one-on-one. And you talk about a different beast all in all when you get into a group scenario, because everyone has a very specific goal that Philip gives to you and like a plan. So you don't know what anyone else is doing and you just go off, and then the scenario starts, and for me, a lot of times I needed to come and get a cup of coffee, which I never actually successfully got a cup of coffee. But it was pretty wild to see how many different things were going on. I realized very quickly when it was fight or flight. I'm a flight. Like, I see something bad and I'm like, I'm going the other way.
Yellow brick road? You good?
I'll make it.
Okay, that's why I follow her.
I'm Kay Miculek. We have a great time shooting as a family, and I've wanted to get the three of us here at once, which we haven't been able to do until this year, so that was really fun. The Liberal Tears Cafe last year, Jerry and I were here, when it was really still under construction still. And boy, some improvements have been made in the last year. When you walk in the door, you literally think you're in a cafe. It is a cafe. You can come up and order a cup of coffee and actually get one, complete with waitresses and the shop manager, the whole works. These are always great scenarios, and I think what I find the most interesting every time is the unpredictability. There is no way that you can predict what is going to happen, because there are so many people involved, and this year we had probably, a third of the people here, or maybe even more, were new, a first time here at Woft. Jerry and I have been here for 4 years. This is our 4th year. So I guess you could say we're, in the scheme of things, we're kind of veterans, but it doesn't matter. Every year when you come back, Philip has come up with some scenarios that are going to totally take you by surprise. You're never going to be able to predict what's going to happen. So there's really no planning. I mean, there's the normal planning. You try to take what you've learned from past scenarios, but there's always going to be something new to learn, because something new is going to happen every time. I think for me, that's really a high point of Philip's training here.
After you, sir.
I'm Jerry Miculek, and this is my 4th year at Woft. And this year was kind of different for me, as I had the chance to play the bad guy. Once I was a gang member, there was 3 of us. We came in and robbed the facility here, the Liberal Tears Cafe. And for me, it's a totally different mindset. Personally, I would never produce a firearm unless it's the last minute and I had to defend myself. But this was, I'm the guy that's going to inflict the pain. So when I came in, my job was to cover my teammates, make the robbery happen, and try to leave the facility without being shot. This year there were some families here, which I think is really a good thing to do, to interact as a group. Should something erupt around you, that you have some kind of cohesion as a unit. What do I do? Are the children going to come with me, or are they just going to be scared and just stand there? How do you interact with one another is the key thing, and you're not going to learn it sitting around home. You got to have the pressure aspect of it. You got to have a little bit of fear, a little bit of adrenaline, and out of your comfort zone. That's the hard thing to do, is to do something out of your comfort zone. If you see something brewing that's not correct, I don't have to get a cup of coffee. I can get out that door. That's the best scenario. I just leave and get back in my car, go somewhere else. So the visual awareness of where you are, the people that are around you all the time, not using the firearm is number one. Lena's plan of leaving, I'm very much into not being there. If I see an avenue, I'm going to get out of there. The last thing I want to do is brandish the firearm to someone or try to shoot anything. It's just too much to do correctly every time, and the best method is to leave. Unless you have a family member that you can't leave behind, that's totally different. So that's kind of the stuff that you think about, and you try to execute the best you can, and that's why we're here.
I definitely encourage you to bring your family and look into Woft for family scenario training, because it is an experience. For me, just learning how to communicate is a huge part of it. Not necessarily the shooting or anything like that, but the communication. This is a wonderful place where you can learn to work as a unit, unlike what I've seen anywhere else.